Hey everyone, it's Brandy, and you're watching Abstract Crafter. So, I promised this video in my completes and whips. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've promised a video and didn't come through. Oh, just kidding. But, I thought a little project would be fun because I've never really done anything for framing or anything like that. And this isn't particularly framing, but it is something, an alternative to framing for stuff that's this small, because as you know, it's not actually, well, if you watched that or my unboxing of that, if not, both of those will be linked up in the corner. They're not actually 20 by 30, they're actually 25 by 15. So, and as you can tell, the quality isn't all that great. I actually just watched a framing video done with this one in a bigger size by Ella, and it was really good. It was an alternative to framing as well. So, great minds think alike, I guess. So, I ended up getting this one complete as well. This one I haven't done anything on. This was featured in my completes and whips video for October. So I thought it might be fun just to see if I could adhere it. Now I know I'm looking at the pole right now and it was, I'm going to reach my arm across because I can only see one. So it was 60% for blue, a blue folder or notebook, and 27% for red and 11% for green, so blue won, but it was 2% for a folder, which I get. I mean, especially my folders, they're pretty much paper. 52% for a notebook, which we have here, and 24% for a comp book, which I have two versions. I have a flimsy cardboard one here, and then I have this really nice hardcover one. And then 22% for a 3-ring binder, which I didn't even say as an option. I just put it in the poll to see what people would click on. Well, I can't do a blue I can do a blue notebook. So we'll do this, but then I also want to do the red comp book. We're not going to do maybe if I had a plastic folder, it might be okay, or if I had a 3-ring binder that required something. So we're going to do two different notebooks, which I don't know. I've never done anything like this, so I don't know how it's going to go. First of all, we need to prep both of the canvases, and to do that, I do 3 things. I used to just do 2, so this will be like a little example of how I finish a painting as well. So the first thing I do is I take a toothbrush and I just kind of, well, because you know I smoke, I have 3 cats and a dog, so I just, luckily this is easy, I just kind of, and you can see, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but there's all kinds of crap coming off, whether it be like the gunk from like the pen, cigarette ashes, or anything else that may have come on. So let's switch spots because I don't want to brush this one into this one. That would defeat the purpose. And these ones didn't take me very long. I haven't done a formal post review because I figured I'd just wait till I got all 4 of them done, no matter what they look like. And hair is like a common thing that I deal with when it comes to these paintings, more so than anything else. Maybe not this time of year because Tyrion's done blowing his coat, but we'll see, huh? Because it probably takes all of winter to get rid of all the fur. So since this one had more stuff on it, I'm guessing that I must have changed my pen out on this one. I have a new combination of stuff that I put into my pens that doesn't require me to change it very much at all. It's actually a combination of the Blue Tack, Elmer's, Aleene's, and whatever was left over from my pick-me-up pen. I just combine all of them, and I actually keep it out to let it get a little bit of a coating on it, and then I massage it in my hands, and it seems to last a lot longer. It's like a fine wine. So let's just. So obviously my next step is to use the rolling pin on them, which with this little of one, I don't expect much to have to go into it. And I do this whether I'm going to frame them or not. So, and I always try to go from both angles. If it's a bigger one, then I'll also go diagonal on it, because you never know what angle is going to catch any beads that might be sticking out, because I could just be rolling over one of this, a loose bead, and making it worse. But just so I can say I did, I'm not going to go both ways on it, because I didn't hear anything pop or anything. So then the final step, and I don't know how many people do this. I do it because I've seen how dirty my drill pens get. Like, half the reason that I end up needing to change out whatever is inside my pen is because it's dirty. So I actually, especially with the rounds, because sometimes you can get stuff in between there that no matter how much you go over a toothbrush, it's not going to get it out. It doesn't affect the sticky at all. It doesn't make it, it doesn't take it up or anything. But I like to wash them because you just never know how dirty these drills can really be. I mean, nothing's really coming off on here, but I feel like it gives them a really nice shine afterwards. So I always like to wash them up. And this will pick up anything that didn't come out with the toothbrush, anything that's stuck in between, and I always do circular motions because, going back and forth, that could just jam something in there even more. And I don't use a lot of pressure, I just go nice and light. Especially with the hair, it really helps take that off. And this is a fresh pack, that's why it seems to be a lot more soapy, but it doesn't, I've never had issues with my beads falling off afterwards or not sticking as well if I've had something in my glue or tape ahead of time. But it works really well at getting the hair out of the edges. And it's never affected any of my diamond paintings so far. And I don't see any reason why it would now. I'm not rubbing so hard that it would peel up anything either. So just want to give a good around the edge because I'm going to be cutting it there. I just want to make sure nothing's getting stuck in there. So there. Now I do this, like I said, with every painting. If for some reason there's just a lot of bubbles going on, you really should use a lint-free cloth. I just don't have one handy. I'll just dab it on there to try to soak up anything that might have, if there is too much wetness, and especially if I'm still working on it. I don't want to leave that water on there, or it doesn't leave a residue or anything like that. That's why I specifically use baby wipes more than anything. I haven't tried a Clorox wipe, which is probably something I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with as far as cleaning purposes go. But okay, so I feel like they're good and ready. So now we need to get them prepped. Typically I would like to leave a little bit of a white border, and I'm going to try to do that, but you can see we have stuff that gets in the way. It's not going to be a problem on 3 of the sides, but then right here, my numbers are right there. And so what I'll do most likely is cut right here. And I've already taken copies of these on my printer, so that if any of these were to pop off, I still have a reference. So I want to try scissors first, but I did grab a ruler and an X-Acto in case I don't like the way that the scissors look. I've never really cut a painting apart before. I've always just used the border, but I don't want it in this case, so, and you'll see what I have planned. We're just going to do one at a time. And I'm going to try 2 different methods for these. And it cuts really nicely. So with this one, I don't really have that much of a guide, so it might not be 100% even, but it doesn't have to be for what we're going to do with it. And as far as covering it to make sure that it doesn't further get dirty, I do have a couple of things off to the side that we can try to see if we can use them as protectants. Just to see and make sure that it's not going to get in the way of the sparkle. And I don't know if it's in my head or not, but I feel like they shine a little bit better once I've cleaned them. Because they do get dusty and dirty from, you know, just typical wear and tear. Depending on, you know, if they were full of garbage or anything like that, there might be a lot of little plastic bits attached to them. And the baby wipe will pick up pretty much whatever the toothbrush couldn't pull off. So now with this one, like I said, I don't really like that I'm going to have these numbers in the way, but it's not very often that you'll get a painting that you're not going to have something underneath. So there. So now he's free. And let's move the hot cocoa snowman off to the side, because he's actually going to go on the red comp book, because there's more red. I don't know. Let's just see. So that's him on here. And we may end up having to cut a little bit more off, because I'm going to actually, on this side, wrap the tape around it. And we may not be able to use this period. So let's see what this looks like under the blue. I just thought that the blue would go better with this one, but I want to make sure that I'm doing the best for each. So that one with the red, and then that one with the blue. I think this one goes better with the blue, honestly. And this one goes better with the red. So let's see what we can do here. For this one in particular, I want to use this blue tape to adhere him down. And then I have this tape. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can find the end of it. But it's got snowflake cutouts. And so that blue will appear underneath it. But it's not very sticky. So I don't know how well things will work out in that way. Of course, it has to be taped down, because I think it has a paper. No, maybe not. I have one that had a paper backing on it. It was so annoying. I got these last year on clearance from Michael's. So, oh, this is just silly. There. Now, so there. Now you can see it's got little snowflake cutouts. So I thought that the blue might look good underneath it for the border. So, like I said, we got to cover it with something. So, of course, I'm going to center it as best I can, and the tape will, in essence, cover this little bit here. So we want to get him on there as center as possible. And once I get him taped down, I'll cut off anything that hangs over. And since this tape is not that sticky, we actually have to go at it with some different tape. So I thought we would use this on 3 of the sides, and then it'll be too thick on this side So I'll just use Scotch tape on that side. Anything that will adhere it better. Okay. So, I might go a little bit smaller than the actual thing. Okay. So let's just do some work here. I'm going to turn it because I got him right where I want him. Try to and obviously this is a notebook that I plan on keeping. I don't plan on getting rid of it, even though this diamond painting probably only cost about $5 once I broke it down. Not even, because I had a gift card, a $5 gift card. So I want to get that on there as flat as possible. And I didn't go all the way to the edge because I don't really need to. And then I want to make sure I'm in frame for you. Take my bone folder here and just kind of really give it pressure, get any air bubbles out. And if you accidentally tape, oops, see, I am already, this wasn't a result of me washing it. This is something I will talk about in post, about the glue quality on these, because it wasn't very good, which is something else that we are going to talk about, because we'll discuss more of that kind of stuff in post. But anyway, I want to, if you get it up on this edge, you can just take, I'm covering my tools, you can just take an X-Acto and cut up alongside lightly, especially with this guy, but I didn't really get it up there, so. But that would cut anything that I could have possibly gotten off to the side. Okay. So now we're just gonna, you can see now why I didn't want to go all the way to the top, because I didn't want to take the chance of having to worry about that corner up there. Okay. Just want to make sure that's nice and secure. This packing tape is really good. I've never had issues with it not doing what I needed it to do. So, but now that I have this bone folder, I really like to use it to marry everything together. Okay. Like I said, that's all going to get covered. But the washi tape just generally isn't known to be something that sticks very well. So now I kind of want to look, because I know that it did overhang a tiny bit. And I'm actually just going to take my X-Acto and try to just trim that off. It wasn't a lot, and I'm cutting more of my notebook than I'm actually cutting out of the diamond painting. And that little tiny bit probably wouldn't have done anything to get in the way anyway. But I know that it hung over more down here, so. But it could be problematic if there was more than that hanging. You know, it might be not easy to wrap your tape around, so let's just get rid of our scraps. Okay, so now we just need to adhere the top and the bottom, and I did cut a little bit of the actual notebook, but that's okay. Alright, that looks big enough. And you're just going to do the same thing, and see, like, I got fuzzies hanging off there, so I'll just take scissors and there we go. And most likely I won't be able to add too much washi to this bottom anyway, at least not the snowflake one, just because I don't see how it would show up. You know, and if you really wanted to, you could probably cut away a little bit of the bottom, because it's actually only adhering to the inside notebook cover. I don't know how well this is going to work anyway, so it really bugs me when I get bumps like that, but there's that. And you know, that probably would be good enough, but since I know I'm not going to get much for washi up on the top, that it's mostly going to be the sides that are decorated on this particular notebook, that's too much. I want to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere on me. There. Okay. Again, just lining that up. I'm just lining it up to that first row of beads there. Kind of pressing down. Nice thing about this particular packing tape, I haven't tried any other kind, so I can't speak to them, is that they typically don't come off. But it's not wanting to stick on the bottom, so we may have to come up with something a little bit more creative down there. I'll show you what's happening in a minute here. Okay. I know I'm cutting part of it off. Right there. So I'm actually kind of holding this up when I push this down. And you could do this with anything. You could do it with like a credit card, a gift card, anything hard, a spoon even. And all it does is really just make sure that everything's adhering the way it should. You don't even have to. You can use your fingers. So now what was happening is it was starting to come up right here on this bottom here. So I'm just going to run that bone folder to try to get it into the little grooves that are in the canvas. If it really starts just not wanting to do anything, I might remove this bottom row of beads, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm just gonna make sure that it's sticking up here. Okay. So now all we need to do is just push down this side. Because, I mean, you could leave it if you wanted a little pocket, but you'd have to make it a little bit looser than that for a pocket. So I'll tape this down, and then we're going to switch clips. And like I said, this is because the washi tape, and I'm going to say it multiple times because I can almost guarantee that there's going to be a comment of somebody saying something about why am I taping it down if I'm going to be decorating with washi tape. I can guarantee it. Well, it's because the washi tape isn't a strong enough tape to do the job, and I just folded that end. But of course I did. And I can see that I got a little bit of an air pocket right here. And I don't know what effect that will or will not have on the painting. It doesn't seem to be mattering. Alright, so now we can actually use a bit of a decorative tape here. And it might seem kind of strange to be using 3 tapes, but this is just what I'm choosing to do with this particular one. Alright, I don't even know if I'm going to have enough of this tape to do. I know it won't be enough for both paintings, but I have other colors for the other paintings, so other tapes. So I think I want the blue to stick out. So I'm actually just going to start laying that down. It's a nice thing about washi tape is if you make a mistake, you can easily correct it. And I'm actually just going to hang over the edge a little bit so that I can easily cut that off. And you can see there, it came up over the beads, so I'm going to be an OCD perfectionist here. There we go. Sorry about that. I forgot to switch clips. I saw time was getting close and I didn't fix it in time, so luckily I'm standing right over my camera. Okay, let's just cut some things off, and you probably will be seeing Talon saying hi, but he won't do that too much. I know it's hard to watch a learning video, but he just wanted to say hi. That was his way of saying hi. So, I mean, obviously, that doesn't look all that great, which is, it's just a background. And you could double layer that if you wanted something stronger. And I actually don't think that that looks too terrible. I'll give you an up close. I mean, it's a little weird. If you wanted to, you could have left more of that white border on. I don't care that much. So this washi tape is different in the sense that you have to peel this backing off before you can use it, which is good for us so we can cut a nice strip off first. And I want that to be even. I might overlap that. There we go, yeah. Okay. Then we'll tackle that other side and figure out what we're going to do with our border up there. This tape is fun to try to peel off. I just used a foil one. Jeez. I had a foil backed one that had, it had a paper backing. Alright. Pretty sticky though. It's actually more sticky than this because it's actual decorative tape instead of washi tape. So I'm going to be careful in setting that down. Okay. Sorry for all the quiet spots, but sometimes learning is watching and not just hearing. Okay. I'm trying not to overlap. I don't want to lift it up too many times because I don't want to cover this. And if I would have been thinking before we did this, I would have figured out how to cover that, because what I did do is I saved, well, I have two options. I have this cover that I was going to cut in half and just use and tape that over it. And then I also saved a little bit of this, you know, the dreaded clear cover, just to stick on there. You know, we'd tape it on there nice and tight, and that would prevent anything. And we can still do that, actually. So why don't you learn from my mistakes? And carefully peel this off, because like I said, you don't want to have to do this multiple times. If this had been stuck to paper or something, though, this would not be coming off this easily. And if we have to get a new piece, we'll just get a new piece. Because this I had no idea what I was even going to do with this particular washi tape. Oh, now I'm pulling up the other piece. Okay. I'm just going to stick this off camera somewhere where it's not going to get bothered. Now let's peel this up. Oh, of course. Well, we may have to. I may have just completely screwed the pooch there. Yeah, I could see. You can see it lifted the clear tape up too. But I still think that there's enough to redo both sides. So this is just going to be garbage. Alright. So now, I'll retape that in a minute. But we need to cut this a little bit more. We don't want it I just want it a little bit bigger than the painting itself. So, say over about that much, so let's just cut that off. I'm working at an angle, folks. I'm so sorry. Okay. So I think the best thing to do here is just to tape that down and then cut the excess around. Because this I can fold under and tape on the inside. And we want this to be pretty tight so it's not super noticeable. And this is, you don't have to do this step. So I guess it's kind of good that all of our tape came up. And I just want to move that over because I just want it slightly bigger. I don't want it overlapping too much. And I can tighten it after this. Okay. There we go. There's that. Let's get the top up here. And we'll try that other clear cover with the other painting. See, the nice thing now is if I don't get that tight, I can easily lift that up. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Wow, alright, sorry about that. My computer just decides to restart on its own, and then the video that I had up starts to restart replaying, giving me a near heart attack. So I'm gonna pull that now tight. Alright. So, at least, like I said, you can learn from what I did wrong. Get this middle done, otherwise when I go to pull it tight it won't cooperate. Okay, so we don't need this much overhang. This on the bottom we can fold over, but we still need to cut this down just slightly smaller. Okay, oh, I'm telling you. So let's do this side before we try to get the top and bottom. So let's just start with one big piece. It's a lot of fussing, I'm so sorry. Let's just see, because you can still see the sparkle underneath, and that's what our main goal here is. Get one more big piece. And again, I don't want to go all the way to the bottom. I'm going to leave a little bit exposed so that it's, in case I need to cut some off. So let's just make sure we're nice and tight there. Make sure I don't gotta lift anything and re-tape, and I'm going to... Yeah. Okay, I'm pulling that as tight as I possibly can. Okay. So let's just get this top folded over. I don't think the next one will be near as much work either, because we won't be doing all this extra stuff. You might want to give yourself more to work with on the top and bottom, but that's what I had. Yeah, see, because it's hard to find somewhere to really grip. There we go. See, but now you can learn from me and make sure you cut yourself a bigger piece of plastic. And I don't care if this overlaps a little bit here, because you can cut off anything that's up there. Okay. See, I left myself a lot more on the bottom. Okay. So now that we've wasted extra time, because we forgot to do this step, and like I said, you don't need to do this. You could use like shrink wrap or anything really. I'm trying to make sure I don't want no gaps on that. Okay, so now we're back. Now you may not, like that as much, but we still get plenty of glitter. We can still see the sparkle. So, no harm, no foul. Now, let's get back. And I think, put my white border back up there, or do I want it down here now? That I know that that red is going to peer through so much. No, I still think I like it this first original way. Okay. So this time I think before I put that glitter tape down, I'm just going to go ahead and get it all. Get that all done. See, it's overlapping, but I'm at least getting close to the size that I need. I'll just cut it a little bigger right now so that we can get it nice and lined up. So we're good till about right in the middle and the end. This might be a good idea of a way if you're making a smaller diamond painting for somebody, an alternative to framing. People, especially if you know that they like stationery, you just go that extra step and give them a personalized notebook or folder or whatever. Okay, let's cut that end off. Luckily, this is super sticky, and I accidentally just stuck that piece like there. Okay. Tape sticking to me. Alright, round 2. And hopefully that will cover up, because I did make a bit of a mistake up here with the plastic. Somehow it's not quite tight enough, but I'm gonna go with it. It's perfectly flawed. Okay. There we go. It looks a teeny bit crooked and wavy, but like I said, I'm going with it. It's done. There. And I'm not even in the most ideal position for doing this. If I was sitting, you know, looking at it, really slowing down to take my time, I would make sure that that was more even. And I even said that we were just going to go ahead and tape both sides, and I lied. Don't know where my head was. Okay. There we go. Okay. Check to see how much I went over. Not that much. Good enough for me. We've spent a lot of time on this one already. So. And I realize that there's a little bit sticking out on either side, but it's okay. Measure. I just want a little overhang. I don't need that much. I want to try to make sure I get a full. That's what I was kind of trying to do over here. I didn't quite accomplish my goal of making sure that I was cutting complete snowflakes. Let's get this plastic backing off. Sorry. Go off camera to try to... Hold on. I need this right up next to my eyeballs. It's not as easy as that first one. That first one had half a snowflake that allowed me access to get in underneath it. Alright, I think I found an entry between the tape and the plastic. Okay. There. And on this side, I made sure that the circles were on the outside, so I'll do the same here. I just want to line that up the best I can, making sure that it's as even as I can possibly get it. And I am not going to do anything to the top or bottom because it looks good enough to me. You could, if you had, which I do, maybe I guess we could, a silver. I have this, like, holographic, might look okay on the bottom, but it's so thin that I don't know. Well, I guess let's give it a quick shot and see what happens, but oh, see, it's paper backed. When they're paper backed, I usually cut it at an angle so I can get in at it. I hate paper backed washi tape. That means it's foil. Okay. Well, I guess we can strip right there. Okay. And you might, cut 2 strips at once so you don't have to measure twice. But I don't know if we're even keeping it at this point. So in between, I'm trying to look through or over the whole thing. Actually, probably would have looked good with just this, but okay. And I want to cut it off right there. Hopefully nice and even. Okay. I don't even know what this is going to look like. Oh, and there goes that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I guess it is a nice little finisher. It looks better than the white to me. Pick up the tape you threw onto the floor. Okay. See, the good thing is you can just measure with your paper that you cut off. And we'll take a closer look at it as soon as I get this last little decorative piece of tape on. Alright, I'm just gonna I gotta put this up to my eyeballs. I'm old and I'm blind. There it is. Dropped it. Okay. And because that corner's messed up, you could tape it down just to make sure, but like I said, I don't care that much about making sure. And this is just, if it bothers me that much, I can definitely take it apart afterwards and redo it. But this will probably just be a diamond painting notebook. So, fold that last bit over. And if that keeps popping up, or for some reason doesn't stick, then I would just put another piece of tape just right over that. So here's our first little notebook. And obviously you can use a variety of different washi tapes. Like I said, you could use anything else besides this clear cover. But you can see it didn't affect it. And it's all good. And you could do something in here. You could paste a little picture here to go with it. I wouldn't recommend doing both sides. But there she is. So, why don't we switch clips and do the second one, which will be a lot easier, since now I kind of know what I'm doing. Okay, so for this one, I'm going a little different route, and I actually have this gold, which is so funny, because in Ella's video, she just was deciding between blue and gold for this exact same painting. But I really like the way that the gold looks. It doesn't match anything in particular. But then I do also have this one that's kind of, it's like a hollow, but it goes through rainbow colors. And that's cute too. So, I mean, we'll figure it out. I don't want to use both. I'm personally not a fan of layering colored tapes. It's too much stress. See, and the nice thing with this is, if you wanted to, you could cut this off and just use it as canvas. So, again, just cutting that off. And that one actually fits on the entire thing on the cover. So of course we don't want to, we can punch holes with that, but we'll cover it up as best we can here. This one probably would have been better for the snowflake one, because then you would have got the color behind it already, but can't do nothing about it now. It's done is done. Okay. So I will end up taping over the holes. I can fix that later on. Just gonna use sure that that's as even as possible. Okay. You might be seeing my big head in the way, but I make sure that everything is good. All right. On there pretty evenly. Nope. Okay. Trying to eye it up. Sorry. That one I was just able to pinch over the top. Okay. I have no idea if this is on there straight or not, but I don't really think it matters all that much. And I just want to get this put down before I start putting any kind of clear covering on it. I'm not doing the entire thing this time because we're going to be putting the plastic over it anyway. Just get enough of it taped down to keep it from moving. And this actually works a little bit better than the other notebook because the other notebook was a little small. So I think folding over the top and the bottom really kind of got in the way a little bit. Alright, I'm going to try to just go between the holes on this part. Tape doesn't want to behave. I'm trying to concentrate so I don't make any mistakes this time. I don't like making mistakes. See, it still wants to come up over that side. Just cut a little bit of the tape off then. Okay, plastic. You know, this is just so thick. Even being one layer, it's a little bit more cloudy. Yeah, maybe, but I think we're going to stick with this method. I know I said I was going to try that one, but I think this is still the better way to go. That side has got a little bit of a curl on it, so we don't want that side, obviously. And it really doesn't matter if it's even, because we're going to cover it with tape. Let's see if we can avoid some mess. There. I just want a little bit to hang over. I don't want a lot hanging over. Oh yeah, this is much better being able to like use two hands on it. Yes, much better. Then I'll be able to pull that tight when I go to tape it on the inside. Okay, almost there, folks, almost there. But you do have to protect. If this was a square, I might not need to do as much, but let's just get a nice clean cut up the side here. Let's trim a bit off of the top. Sorry, my arm's in the way. And I think we'll be okay on the bottom. So now we want that tight, taut, if you will. Okay. And try to pull that as tight as I can and then just hold it down. An extra set of hands might come in handy here. My tape is a little crooked, but that's okay. Feels so much thicker. Okay. We're getting there, we're getting there. Pull that tight. Now we need to secure this to the other side, and I think instead of trying to, and obviously I cut myself a lot more than I left on the other one, so that will help greatly. Pull that tight as I can. And don't try to hold the whole thing at once. Just get one corner at a time. That's as tight as I can get it. Okay. Now, OCD, gotta get that middle. Okay. Let's do our bottom. Now this is, I'm gonna try to get my tape ready ahead of time. Maybe pull that a little tighter. Okay. Okay, so she's there. I felt something pull there. Okay, so now I'm gonna just kind of tape down in between where I didn't before. Okay. Okay. And the only thing I didn't do this time around was use the bone folder. It's cardboard, so it's gonna adhere a little bit better than it did to that other cover. But we'll still force it to marry. Okay. So now, see, the nice thing with this is that I can, oh good, it doesn't have a backing, but that is like a really light masking tape. I can fold it over the top, but then you'll definitely have to tape down the other end. So I think that's what I'll do. and I want it to go a little bit bigger. Okay, I like this one. I think the gold will work nicely. I mean, see, in the end you can't even tell that it's on a different colored folder with this particular painting anyway. I don't want that much, so I'm gonna but so now if I don't use that much, then I need to pretty much make the other tape go over the side. Okay. Oh, this is not very good tape at all. I don't know if it's because of the glitter that weakens it at all, but I am going to cut a bit off of that. It is very thick too, so it is. It's like a really weak masking tape that was coated in glitter. So I won't do anything with that just yet. Let's get the bottom done first. See, that I wouldn't tape over that, so what I think I'll do is pop a little line of glue under there just to help the sticky. Now it ain't going nowhere. Okay. We're gonna have to do that with this side too. But it's such a weak tape. Let's try not to waste the weak tape. Okay. And really, I could have went over a roll of beads, and what is it going to really matter in the end, you know? I think this one's going to turn out better just for the simple fact of it's a bigger work surface. All the sides are going to be the same. And I can already see that does not want to cooperate. Might as well just get it now. I kind of wish that this was something I could have checked in the store before I bought it. I wouldn't have got that. Look at that. Jesus, I was so anxious to come out. Yeah, I would not have bought such a weak tape, especially decorative tape like this. Because initially I was going to use it to wrap presents, but then I was like, yeah, that ain't going to be good. It's a little crooked on the bottom, as you can see, but it's okay. We'll survive. Okay. I think I am going to wrap it over the side, and just knowing how weak this tape is, we need to give it every chance in the world. Yeah, it was super crooked. I'm just going to tape this side before I flip it over. I mean, the tape is pretty. I just wish it would have been better. Okay, so you could go another layer there, or you could cut little strips off of this, which is what I might do. We'll see. I honestly don't care that much. This was... The paintings are blurry, so why not, huh? Don't need to make it perfect. If these paintings were better, or if I had paid more for them, I'd probably care more. So, obviously we need to reinforce those. Since it's terrible, terrible tape. Okay. Well, we'll just finish this up and we'll wrap it up. I'll let Talon say goodbye to you, and I'm going to put a little piece over there so that that doesn't like get stuck on anything and nothing gets stuck to it. Alright, that's it. Let's see. Ooh, that's not too bad. Seeing you get glitter. I guess I would prefer something more matte on the side. And I have lights coming in at 3 different angles on it, so that's why you're seeing, you know, even if we just shut off one light, you're gonna see there so much more of the glitter. So, I mean, that's all I got. You can use any, like I said, alternatives to any of the products I used. The only reason I want to reiterate, the only reason that this guy got taped down first is because this was a shiny, the cover itself is very shiny. You could have eliminated that in multiple ways. That was just the quickest way I could think of. I would use a color of tape closer to the color of the notebook. That's not something I thought of about how thin that would be. I would be a lot more careful in cutting my plastic cover, but I mean, that's just 2 alternatives, and you know, it doesn't feel so thick like it's gonna overweigh it. You know, like, I think it's gonna be alright. So that's what I got. And like I said, the plastic cover did nothing to deter it. So you could substitute your own products, your own notebooks or folders or whatever it is that you would like to put something on. Just make sure you do all your measuring ahead of time. I knew that these were big enough to fit this one, but I never tested this one. I found this actually last minute, and I kind of like that the color peeks out a little bit more on the side, so maybe I would have not put that blue tape down. I didn't realize that this tape would cover. But I really want to thank everyone for watching, and Talon is got his baby off to the side there saying goodbye too. And don't forget to hit like on your way out if you liked it, and subscribe, and come back and watch the post review when I get the other 2 done to see how things go. With that, I will let you go. Have an awesome day. Have fun diamond painting, have fun crafting, have fun doing whatever it is that makes you happy. I love you, friends, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to leave suggestions on how I should finish the other 2 of this 4-pack for the next video, because I'll find a way to finish those as well. Okay, bye guys.